Laughing Vikings Live. High vibe chats with actors, comedians, and creators, plus stand-up comedy, sketch comedy, and most importantly, you. That's right, join us every Monday for new episodes, and you can be a part of the show on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and Twitch. Ask questions and interact in the comments, and make sure to share this with your actor, comedian, and creator friends so they can be a part of the show too. Can't make a live show? No problem. You can catch up on your favorite podcast platform and visit laughingvikings.com to find out how you can join the cast and crew. All right, it's time for today's show. Buckle up and make sure you stick around to the end because we have a special surprise for you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is Laughing Vikings Live. Happy Monday Fun Day. Let's go. Hey. Welcome to day, not one, not two, day 3 of our 3-day Audition Hero workshop, where we are helping you step into your dream role in 2022 as an audition hero. Welcome. As always, pop off in the comments. Let us know what city you're watching from and give us a reminder what your dream role is. It's good to put that stuff out in the universe. I am your host, Lars, for day 3. Hello. It's good to see everyone here. Let us know in the comments where you're from. If you do have any questions throughout the broadcast today, as always, fire those in. There'll be opportunities where I will answer questions and we'll dip into the comments and remind us what your dream role is. What are you aspiring for? What's your end goal? When you become the hero in your life, who are you going to be? Who do you look like? What roles are you going to be playing? So welcome. For those of you, if you're just by chance joining us for day 3 for the first time and you've missed day 1 and day 2, make sure to go to www.laughingvikings.com/audition hero. Once again, that's laughingvikings.com/audition hero. And you can formally register, which will also allow you to qualify for any of our prizes. And that'll make sure that you have access to day 1 and day 2 replays if you have not seen the full live broadcasts. Speaking of day 1 and 2, who was fired up by day 1 and day 2? I'm still buzzing here. I don't know. Maybe we have to go to day 4 and day 5 and day 6 and day 7. Should we stop this ever, or should we just keep doing this always? I don't know. Brandon, maybe we should just keep doing this. I like this. 3 days a week. Maybe we're going to go 3 days a week. But to Brandon says yes. Brandon says yes. We're never going to stop. We're just going to do this. Heroes don't take days off, do they? What up? Pippa Winslow from the UK. Hello, Pippa. Nice to see you. And I know it's getting late there, so thank you for joining us late. You must be a night owl, Pippa. It's great to see you. Pop off in the comments. Let us see. I see a bunch of you on the broadcast right now, but right now you're just lurking in the bushes. So let us know what city you're in and remind us of your dream role. And feel free throughout the broadcast to throw in any questions. But I want to talk, just a reminder of our recap of day 1 and 2. Of course, this workshop, the purpose of Audition Hero is to help actors if you're struggling with self-submit auditions, and you need some help to rehearse and record professional auditions without having any tech troubles or bugging your family and friends. This is the workshop for you. We had an amazing day 1 where we talked mostly about the hero's mindset and the hero's journey, and just the idea that all of us need to step up in our lives. We need to become first the hero of our own lives. And then the goal is obviously to be a lead player in TV, film, and theater, to be playing those iconic heroes on TV and in film. But first, you got to start by being the hero in your own life. And a lot of people, for various reasons, are playing bit parts in your own life, or worse, background parts in your own life. So it's about having that hero's mindset, challenging yourself to learn and grow, to reach that new level. Not only for yourself, but for your community, for your family, for your friends, to step into that hero mindset to then become a role model to other people around you, so that then as the hero, you get to be the person that lifts everyone up. And I think everyone can attest that right now in the world, especially, the world does not need more villains. We need more heroes. So starting with this group on these live broadcasts, you guys are the heroes. So day one, we talked about the audition hero mindset. We talked about the hero's journey. Typically, a hero starts out, they're put in a position that they don't want to be in. Maybe they reject it in the beginning. They say, no, I'm not worthy. I don't have what it takes. And then eventually they accept the hero's call. They go on that hero's journey, usually with the help of a guide. They learn the skills they need. They get the powers they need. They find the talismans they need. They drink the potion that they need, whatever it is to build themselves up to that hero until they face that big final conflict. They fight the boss. They fight Voldemort. They fight Darth Vader. They save the realm. They go into Mordor against all odds and somehow come out on top. So that is the hero's journey that we talked about in day one. And we also talked about the idea, the phrase that I've always hated. I understand it intellectually, but I've always hated the term, oh, there's only small roles, there's only small actors. And I get it. If you're playing, if it's a big production, yeah, of course, you need a hot dog vendor, you need a taxi driver, you need the receptionist, you need the concierge guy, you need the guy that just bumps into you on the street, and that's it. But there are small roles. They have smaller amounts of lines in the scripts. They have a smaller paycheck. They have a smaller audition. It's like this. It's like 2 lines instead of 9 pages. They have a smaller trailer when they're on set. Their name in the credits is smaller. It's at the end of the movie or the TV show instead of big bold letters at the beginning of the credits. If it's a TV series. So yeah, there are small parts and there are very small paychecks that go along with that. Just like there are leading hero parts where you get a bigger script, you get bigger screen time, you get a bigger trailer, you get a bigger paycheck, and ultimately you get a bigger life. So the challenge to everyone on this call is to answer that hero's call. And the fact that you're here today means that you have answered that. Make sure to go back and watch the replays if you haven't watched the full day 1 and day 2 replays. On day 2, we transitioned into speaking about the Audition Hero system and Audition Hero community. So yeah, you got to start with your mindset. Everything starts with the mind. But then you need to have a system when it comes to auditions. If you're at a point in your acting life where you're doing it different every time and it's just kind of hit and miss and you're sort of winging it and you're going with your gut, and sometimes you spend a lot of time on an audition, sometimes you don't spend much at all. Sometimes you film it at your house, sometimes you film it at a buddy's, and you don't have a system. Remember, professionals have checklists and systems. You're not going to be feeling too comfortable if you go to see your surgeon and he's just winging it, like he's doing everything backwards and, oh, maybe I'll just do things out of order today. Or a pilot as he's taking off. They're following a checklist to make sure that plane does not crash. And we don't want you to crash, which means you got to follow that audition system. So from the second you get a breakdown from your agent, are you going into somewhat of an autopilot mode? Not to say that you're not working, but your mind and your body is just going into a system. That was all of day 2. We also busted a bunch of actor myths in day 2. The idea that your success as an actor is a lone wolf endeavor. No, your success as an actor, just like any other success in the world, needs to come from a community and from having a team of people that you're working with. We talked about the idea that your training as an actor is never complete. Just like your training and growth in life is never complete. So continuing to train. What were the other myths we talked about? Remind me, Brandon. Oh, where are they? Oh, it's right there. They're on the screen. Amazing. My success as an actor is all about who I know. No, it's about what you know first, learning a craft, learning a profession. And then hopefully when you're rock solid craft-wise, then you have the opportunity to cash in on some of that networking and some of the nepotism and some of those relationships. but nobody's going to give you a massive opportunity just because they know you. They need to know that you can deliver the goods. You wouldn't hire a plumber just because you know a guy and you're like, I know you, you want to be my plumber. It's like, well, do you know anything about plumbing? Do you have any idea what you're going to do? You wouldn't hire an electrician just because he's a nice guy that you know. You got to know, do you know anything about electricity? Or am I going to hire you because I like you? And then the next time I turn on a light, I'm going to electrocute myself and all my fuse boxes are going to explode. My house is going to burn. You don't want to do that. Myth 4 that we busted was, hey, I'm a great actor. I just suck at auditions. No, your job early on in your acting career is to be an audition professional. That's the name of the game. That's how you get into this game until you're at the point where you're batting away those offers because you're known and you're known for the work that you do, or the point where you are producing, creating your own works so that you don't need to audition for gatekeepers any longer. You're just writing your own ticket. And then the myth 5 that we were talking about was, I can't afford to invest in my career. I need to book a big role and then I'll have money to make a home studio or to invest in the classes, which is backwards. You don't expect heat to come out of your furnace without stoking it with fuel. The power plant, it generates energy, but it needs to be stoked with some kind of energy, and it transforms that energy into a more powerful kind of energy. So we smashed through those actor myths, and we also put out a few challenges throughout day 1 and day 2. Day 1, the challenge was to share your dream role with the group and to talk about the obstacles that you're facing and to share with us, if you continue to lean into those obstacles and those old stories, what is your life going to be like versus what happens when you step into that hero mindset and into your new hero life? What is your life going to be like when you can get to that point where you're getting into your dream roles? And we put out the challenge to post live in the group, and Victoria from Calgary and Ilya from Lebanon won those. You're going to receive a free Zoom session with one of our session directors where we'll work with you on an audition piece or a monologue to craft something that looks great on camera. Kevin Figueroa in the house from Mexico. Nice to see you, Kevin. Welcome, welcome, welcome. The Scorpion King himself on fire. So that was the day 1 challenge. And then last night or Tuesday, the day 2 challenge was to give us a home tour of your home studio. So we were looking for a video, you sort of giving us the tour, showing us your home setup, and then not only showing us the home setup, but telling us what improvements, if any, you're committed to up level that home studio. And Pippa, it's funny that you say I might not make it through the end tonight, but I'll catch it all on replay, because Pippa, drum roll please, maybe I let the cat out of the bag. Pippa Winslow is the winner of the day 2 challenge. Pippa Winslow, you will be receiving a free Zoom session where you get to connect with one of our session directors. Next time you have an audition, we'll connect with you. We'll help you through that. We'll help you record it. A session director will give you directions and feedback and creative ideas. And the great thing is, you being a member of Todorov Conservatory, we speak the same language. So your directions are going to come in the form of guideposts, vocal variation, viewpoints, and 4 agreements. So congratulations. Do we want to roll that video, or are we just going to announce it? Let's roll it. We're going to roll the video here. This is Pippa and her amazing home studio.
Hi there, I'm Pippa Winslow. This is my self-tape setup. First of all, thank you, Lars, for these workshops. It's an amazing amount of information you're sharing with all of us, and it's great to be part of this community. Let's see, first of all, I film on selfie mode on my camera. Sorry, not my camera, my phone. No, I don't hear anything. The camera on my phone in selfie mode. I use a little lavalier mic, really cheap mic that I bought on Amazon. Different brands. This one might be a Sabrent. I don't know if that matters. Let's see. I'll turn my phone around and show you the rest of my setup. So this is my backdrop. It's like a photography fabric that I attach to a photographer's frame. I have lots and lots of different.
Can you check with Adam and just see if he hears it?
If I want to use it. Okay, I also have bunches and bunches of these. They're all kind of tucked in there, and I have some more rolled up, so I have different colors and stuff if I need to have that. But this color is nice and neutral, and it's still more interesting than just plain gray. For my lights, I have 2 soft boxes that I use most of the time, and obviously daylight, but even with daylight, I like to use the soft boxes. I also have ring light, and then I just got these. These are grow lights, and they're really good actually for Zoom calls, because Zoom sometimes is too bright, and they don't really dim, but you can turn them off one at a time so that it gets a little dimmer. This is the rig I have set up. That's a Rode mic that sometimes I use. It doesn't pick up the sound as well as the lavalier mic, but it will, if I have to move around a lot, the lav mic doesn't work. So, and then I always use a stand, and this is the tripod that I'm using right now on this one. And I think that's it. So this is me sitting in my little studio. It's not a big room, but it's enough for me to pack everything in. I also use, this is my Canon 250D. I use this sometimes for my self-tapes. It's a tiny bit more of a hassle, but not much. I struggle a little bit with the white balance on that, but generally the image is great. But actually, my phone selfie camera is pretty great, and it's so easy. So that's why I use that every day when I do my self-tapes. Let's see. Yeah, also I edit all my self-tapes on my phone. I edit up them either in PowerDirector or in KineMaster. And then sometimes if I have to do a lot with green screen, then I will edit them in my computer, my PC, also in PowerDirector. I've heard DaVinci Code is, not DaVinci Code, DaVinci Resolve DaVinci Code is also fantastic, but I haven't started to experiment with that. Yeah, to upgrade, I've bought like a lot of kit. I have actually 2 more soft boxes that I use in other rooms of the house if I have to do a long shot on a commercial slate. So to upgrade, I think I would need probably just kind of the sort of thing that your studio offers. Right now, I do all my own reading for myself. It's kind of a complex process that I do. If there's a lot of talk, if there's not a lot of talking by the other character, I just memorize everybody's lines and I do them in my head, and then I add the voiceover later in the edit. If there is a lot of talking, then I record everything, but I play it in an earbud, and I react to their lines in my head, and then I add their voiceover later. I don't tape their lines and then react to their lines, because then I'm set in a set pattern. Whereas if I have their lines just in my earbud, I can still play with the timings a lot, because it doesn't, yeah. Anyway, but obviously those are not great for big auditions, because as I'm very good at this, but I'm still not good enough to be as I would be on set when I had a real reader, so a real actor, hopefully. So yeah, so that's, I think, the next upgrade is to yeah, get connected with some way to have readers that I'm comfortable with. Generally, yeah, it's tricky. Nobody lives near me, so, and my family generally doesn't want to read with me. And I've tried working with actors on Zoom and on my phone, and yeah, it's tricky. Maybe it's just another skill I have to learn how to get used to. Anyway, that's my self-tape setup. See ya. Thanks again for all of this. Thanks.
ABK, always be kazooing. Congrats, Pippa. I just want to shout you out for how hard you must be working on your self-tapes. That blew my mind when I listened to that. So she's recording her lines on camera, leaving space for the other actors' lines, and then dubbing in a voiceover, which just like kudos to you for the editing and all the work that you're doing. But that to me sounds like way harder than things need to be. So again, kudos to you for taking the time and the energy, but I feel like you must be spending at least double or triple the amount of time you would need to do an audition. So congrats, you've won a Zoom audition session with Actors Audition Club. We'll contact you with that and we will connect. It will be via Zoom. You mentioned you had some experiences that maybe didn't go that great with Zoom, but maybe you haven't been speaking with someone who speaks your language in guidepost, vocal variation, viewpoints, actors, and 4 agreements. So we will connect with you. Yeah, Pippa says it is so much harder than having a real person there. Yes, ideally acting is done with 2 live people, but connecting remotely is great too. Like they're still alive, that's still in real time. So congratulations, Pippa. Pop off in the comments. Janet Barr Rembaum says, I have the same issues with lines and readers. Well, guess what? You're in the right spot here at Audition Hero and introducing yourselves to Actors Audition Club. You're meeting a community of people who are specifically here to help you up-level your self-submit auditions in studio or via Zoom internationally. So that's amazing. So I just want to reiterate, what is the opportunity for those of you who are stepping up into this hero mindset? What is the opportunity as an actor these days? There is no better time to be an actor. There are more productions, more streaming sites, more TV shows, more films, more platforms. Everyone has HD cameras. There's more cameras in existence. Never has there been a better time in history to be an actor, performer, creator. And there's an unprecedented amount of money attached to those roles. There are billions and billions of dollars in the TV and film industry. And the other thing about it is we are in a global village. So now for the first time ever, you can be really in any country, any city in the world and still have access to auditions. You can self-submit, you can connect with people, you can network with filmmakers and creators around the world. Joao Pino speaking of connecting. You think Joao and I ever would have met 30 years ago? Would have been a pretty random vacation for me in Portugal to bump into Joao. But I've met him in Tom Todorow's conservatory, and to know Joao is to love him. And here we are collaborating and connecting. And this is a time that this never would have happened 20, 30 years ago. Ilya is a great example. In day one of our challenge winners, he lives in Lebanon, and maybe there's not a massive film industry there, but now he's able to connect with people around the world. He's able to shoot things on his cell phone and able to launch his career when, again, 20, 30 years ago, without the internet and without all these streaming services, the opportunities just weren't there. And then I just want to remind all of you, everyone, no matter where you are in your career, whether you've had an illustrious 20, 30-year career or you're brand new getting into it, you're all only one audition away from your life being totally changed. But it's not going to happen randomly. It's not going to be dumb luck where you just get it. You need to have the craft and you need to deliver the goods. But you're one audition and one meeting, maybe you have a callback or two, but one role away from changing your entire life, which changes your entire life for your family, potentially for your friends, for your community, and then you're off to the races. So the stakes are very, very high here. You book roles that are 4 figures, 5 figures, 6 figures, 7-figure roles. That also makes it very competitive, though. So if the stakes are so high and the prize and the rewards are so high, that means you got to put in some work. And when you think about the competition, we're in a crazy game where there could be 500 to 1,000 submissions, actors submitting to this, and it's one person, one horse. Imagine a 1,000-horse race, but only one horse gets anything. Everyone else gets second place, and the set of steak knives that goes along with it. But you don't want the steak knives. You want the main. Brandon's dying in the background right here. Yeah, every once in a while I hit Brandon with a good one, and he's like, "All right, that was a good one, Lars." Joao says, "Craft and commitment for the role that can change it for the better." Yes. So again, I want to remind all of you, you're here on the call. There's no better time in history to be an actor. There's a plethora good word, plethora. There's a plethoric cornucopia of opportunities out there. And never before have you been able to be the driving force of that. You can make relationships, you can make your own content, you can seek out opportunities. And it used to be, there was a day where it was a handful of gatekeepers, mostly old white men who owned studios and they owned all the fancy cameras. And you had to somehow make it to LA or to a major film market in order to do anything. But now we all have, essentially, we have destiny in our own hands, and we can make things happen. So just a reminder, me too, I didn't start out as an actor. I didn't go to TV or film theater school as a kid. Some people think like, oh, I need to have started this when I was 15 years old in high school or even before that. And I'm way behind in the game. You're not behind in the game. No matter where you are right now, start now where you are with what you have, with what you can, and build forward. Never mind the past. And again, there's a massive list of A-list actors who have had illustrious careers who didn't start until they were 40, 50, 60, sometimes 70 years old. And there's probably someone who's starting when they're 90 years old and they're going to be brilliant at it. And so like my path is, I have a kinesiology degree, which has nothing to do with acting. Not at all. I will say this. In grade 8, I was in Greece. I was Kinnicky in Greece. Go Greece, lightning, you're burning up the quarter mile. We'll get the money, yeah, we'll get the money. I was a hell of a Kinnicky. But I did mostly sports in high school and university. Went and got a kinesiology degree because, like a lot of people, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I talked to a guidance counselor. I like sports. I like science. Some of my friends were going to that university. So I was like, all right, I'll try that. I got into a corporate career, making great money in financial services, tons of growth opportunities, advancement opportunities, all the things that you would want in a corporate career. Except I started waking up in the morning not excited about my life. It would take a quarterly meeting from a regional manager to fire me up. And I just felt this urge and yearning and wanting that there was more, that there was other things I wanted to do. I'd always been a big fan of comedy. I grew up on Saturday Night Live and Mad TV and In Living Color, and here in Canada, SCTV, Kids in the Hall. And I always loved comedy. When I was around my buddies, we were always laughing and creating and thinking of little bits and playing little characters and doing all this goofy stuff. So I started to have the inkling. And this was after I talked about my brother's story. My brother, who was 33 years old as a musician, living his dream in New York, then diagnosed with cancer in 2003. And in less than a year, he was gone. And so I saw that situation. I was like, man, that guy was doing everything that he could possibly do to live his dream. And then it was taken away from him. But I always admired him because he went down swinging, and he went down swinging, playing the game that he wanted to play. And I saw that, and I was like, what the fuck, man? I thought to myself, if I was in his shoes and I got diagnosed and this was the end of me, I would have felt at that time that I would have felt like, yeah, I had some meaning to my life, but I would have felt like, man, I did not take a crack at this. I did not lead the life that I wanted to live. And so it took me a little while, but by 2009, I was like, you know what? I'm either going to try, but that's a swear word. Don't ever try. Listen to Yoda. Listen to Tom Todoroff. Do or do not. There is no try. There's no kinda. There's no sorta. There's no maybe. Just make a decision and then go for it. And I decided I'm either going to do this now, or I'm going to risk being on my deathbed and having a life full of regrets. And if you've ever been to any kind of nursing home, palliative care, hospice situation, the most heartbreaking thing in the world is seeing someone on their deathbed regretting a life that they never lived, and they had a really an unlived life. And at the end of our lives, that's what it's going to be. You're going to think of all your memories and all your loved ones. Certainly not really going to be caring about your bank account or your trophies. So it's about playing the game that you want and living the life that you want to live. So in 2009, I decided to throw all that stuff away. I threw out a corporate career, and I answered an ad on Kijiji, which is our Craigslist here in Canada, that said, so you want to be a comedian? And that led to an amateur comedian night, like an amateur night, first timers. I vividly remember walking downtown with my earbuds in. I was listening to Eminem, 8 Mile, and Notorious B.I.G., getting psyched out. And I vividly remember, I still remember it now, and it makes me emotional. I remember I was in London, Ontario. I lived about maybe 20-minute walk from Yuck Yucks, the comedy club, and just with a full steam of energy and heart and a desire, on that walk, I was like, I had the feeling this is the beginning of my new life. Like, this begins now. I'm in the right place. Finally, this finally feels aligned and proper. And I had an exhilarating stand-up debut, and I never stopped from that point on. I continued to do stand-up, fell in love with stand-up, was able to tour. That led to dinner theater and improv, which led to moving to Toronto to pursue it full time, where I could get on stage every night rather than being in a small market. That led to doing student films, to doing background. Again, I didn't have TV film school, so I learned everything on set by doing student films and by being a background actor as an extra. That led to getting an agent, started to do commercials, which led to smaller parts, sort of 5-liners or less, bit parts. Then I landed 20 episodes of a sketch comedy show in Canada here on CMT Canada called Almost Genius, where I spent 3 months of my life in a green screen studio with the funniest people I've ever been around. Stand-up comedians, sketch comedians, improv comedians. Every day was wacky wardrobe and fake mustaches and beards and fake wigs, and it was hilarious. It was a dream. And I remember thinking, man, if I could get to do this for the rest of my life, like, fuck, this is amazing. And I got paid handsomely for the first time in my life. That gig, we were getting paid $1,200 an episode, and we were filming. It was taking us about 2 days to film an episode. And so I was getting a paycheck of $2,400 a week to just fuck around and do everything that I love to do, playing wacky characters and wacky voice and literally being just a big goofball. I think I have 4 sketches in that TV show over the 20 episodes where they were basically all nutshot videos. If I were to go back and look at my Almost Genius reel, again, wacky sketch comedy, I think I have a nutshot reel. I could make a demo reel that is just me playing an idiot getting hit in the nuts. And I loved it. And I got paid. I got paid $2,400 a week to get hit in the nuts. Can you believe that? That's amazing. That led to 5 episodes as a recurring character in a brilliant TV show called Oh Yuck. Look it up on Netflix. I got to play the wacky janitor, the maintenance man, and my nickname was Lou the Main Man Handy. Get it? Main man, because I'm the maintenance man. Get it? You guys get it? You with me? And then I got to play a lead in an episode of a docudrama series called Fear Thy Neighbor, which was very dramatic and dark and true crime reenactment, but an amazing experience. And then the one of the most brilliant days of my life was, and I talked about this in day one, you'll see it in the replay, is on Valentine's Day 2020, right before the entire world shut down because of this mysterious disease that had crossed the globe. I found myself toe-to-toe and eye-to-eye and face-to-face with Jason fucking Momoa, living my dream on the dream set with like 300 crew and 500 extras in this whole crazy world in their epic show, C. $10 million an episode. It was 20 below, blue skies. My feet were freezing. They were frozen. I could barely feel my feet, but I'm like, there's no way I'm telling Jason Momoa my toesies are too cold and I got to go back to holding. And it was the day of my life. And I remember seeing him and being like, this is great, but I'm only here for one day. But someday, man, I'm going to be in your shoes. I don't want to be Jason Momoa, but I want to do his job, which is the lead in a series. He's also the executive producer, so he's getting has a hand in the entire production, and is getting to call some of those shots. And I remember seeing him and be like, you are one of the guys that I want to be, and I'm going to get there one day. So that was my journey and my transformation. And then in 2017, the other major thing that happened to us, because I was continually stressed out about auditions, self-submit auditions specifically, I was getting self-tapes requests from my agent. And then every time I got one, I was like, okay, well, where am I going to film this? Who's going to film it for me? How am I going to set up the lights? I got to move around stuff. Who am I going to call to be the other actor and read the lines? So instead of being pumped and excited about auditions, which you should be, every time when you get an audition, you should be like, boom, this is amazing. I get an opportunity to create. I get an opportunity to express myself, to show my craft, to tell a story. but I was getting anxious, and I had anxiety, and it just wasn't feeling good. It was like a hassle where I was like, oh man, when am I going to get this done? So I was kind of procrastinating. So I get a request on a Friday that was due Monday. And I was like, well, when am I going to do this? And it was just not good. So I bought all the gear, started a studio, leased a space here in Toronto. And then all of a sudden I had everything. So we started to provide a service to other actors where we were providing self-tape audition sessions where people just with a few clicks of a button, when they get their audition, the minute they get it, they book it. You get it on a Thursday, you book it for a Saturday audition, show up at the studio, or now connect via Zoom, and an audition professional, a session director, connects with you, helps you rehearse, helps you record, gives you creative feedback, gives you tips, pointers to help you hone and craft it like it's their own audition. And we've been doing that since 2017. We've done thousands of auditions with hundreds of actors. We've helped people book lead roles in features and in series, commercials, supporting roles on pretty much all of the streaming services. And we've had the opportunity to help people change their lives for themselves and their family, all because we've decided, you know what, we're going to take this seriously and make sure we have everything in place to capitalize and to seize these opportunities. So that's my transformation story. And I share this stuff, obviously, not to toot my own horn, although I love horns and I love tooting them. Where the hell did my kazoo go? Oh, it's in my back pocket. Always keep your kazoo in the back pocket. ABK, I'm telling you, always be kazooing. If you don't own at least one kazoo, I'm like, what are you even doing with your life right now? I own two. This is an electric. It actually plugs in, and I have an acoustic. I have an acoustic and an electric. You need to up your kazoo game is what I'm telling you. So that was my transformation. Speaking of transformations, Actors Audition Club, we have a bunch of members internationally and a bunch here in Toronto, and we put out a call for our Audition Hero contest. So all of our members, you had to be an active member of Actors Audition Club to qualify for this. We put out a call for video submissions. In day 2, you saw those. We had our finalists. I want to get a little drum roll here. Alexander Wong says, writes in notebook, up kazoo game. Yeah, that might be the most important thing I've told you in these 3 days. Right. You'd be like, I took a lot of things. There was a lot of good stuff about auditions, but the thing that changed my life forever is I bought 9 kazoos after meeting Lars, and I have been full of joy ever since. Don't tell me you could take a kazoo into any situation. It'll brighten faces. Take a kazoo to a funeral. People will love you. People will love you. So back to the transformations. We had our Audition Hero Challenge for our Actors Audition Club members. Shout out in the comments. Congratulations. We announced the finalists. Our finalists were Shaquille James Hostins, Jareen Ignatius, and Adam Daniel. I mixed up his name there. You see what I did? Adam Daniel, not Annual. I made an acronym of your name. It's shorter when you say Annual. Adam Daniel Mazet. Those were our 3 finalists. So congratulations to all of you. Brandon's shaking his head. He's like, no, I did not like that one. I like the steak knife gag, but that was lame. Whatever, once in a while. I'm not a dad, but I got the dad joke sometimes. I'm getting into dad age. So once you get above 40, the jokes get cheesier and cornier. So back to the challenge here. We're going to announce right now, our winners. We had the 3 finalists, and we're going to announce first our second runner-up, aka the 3rd place winner. They are going to win a free audition session on the house here at Laughing Vikings. Let's get a drum roll. Everyone be drumming. Always be drumming. I know some of you are drummers. Joao, maybe you're a drummer. Drum, 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 drum. Always be drumming. The winner, the second runner-up, 3rd place prize of our Audition Hero contest is, give it up for Shaquille James Hostins, aka Darius King, the actor, wrestler extraordinaire. Just made one of his debut performances on network television here in Canada for CBC on Murdoch Mysteries which is a legendary, iconic series here. And he was in that show, had a brilliant performance. Joao says, I can learn drums, but yeah, I can play the piano and sing. Thank you. So Shaquille, thank you so much for submitting into the contest. You are our third place audition hero. And no matter what place you're in, you guys are all heroes in my hearts. I love all of you and we love working with you. And a little birdie told me that Shaquille might just be hanging around backstage in the studio. Brandon, is he kicking around? Oh, he's not here yet. Okay, well, when he's here later, we'll talk to Shaquille. But congratulations to Shaquille. We love you. You're amazing. Now there's only 2 left, so I think we just have to announce the winner here. Otherwise, it's going to be kind of anticlimactic. So drum roll, please, ladies and gentlemen. The winner of our Audition Hero contest 2022, winning an annual membership to Actors Audition Club and winning a 10-pack of audition sessions. Ladies and gentlemen, drum roll, please. The winner is Adam Daniel Mazay. Congratulations, Adam Daniel Mazay. Yes, yes.
Oh my
yes.
goodness.
Yeah, all right? You okay?
I was just,
I think you're unmuted.
I'm
Can I hear you?
overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed. Oh my goodness. Thank you very much.
I can't hear him for some. You can hear him? Oh, I can't hear him. Can you turn yours up just so I can hear you? There you go.
Oh my goodness.
So,
oh my.
Adam, first of all, congratulations. How do you feel?
Lars, I feel just amazing. You know, it's nice to win things, but it's nice to win things at a place where I really like spending a lot of time. And
He
likes winning things when you're spending a lot of time.
No,
Can you share? Sorry for the tech issues here. Can you share with us? Yeah, that's going to drive me crazy. So, can you just share with everyone what would your advice be to someone who is looking to step it up and looking to level up, because you've had a transformative year? And again, shout out and so much love to you for the loss of your father recently. But kudos to you for continuing to plow forward with your career. But can you share with other people out there any words of advice, any words of inspiration on how to reach the next level, what you have done, what's been important to you in getting to the next level? I know you landed a new agent recently. You're getting much bigger auditions recently, and we see you here in the studio on a regular basis, just working at it. So please share with us.
I think it's just about taking a wide funnel approach. I mean, if you're really passionate about something, either you're completely into it or you're completely out of it. You can't really have 2 feet, in separate places. Like Gloria Mann has this really great expression. She's a popular casting director here in Toronto, and she says, you're either in or you're out. And it's once you make that decision to be in, you just do everything you possibly can to get better at your craft. And as I said, you take a very wide funnel approach to the things that I do with acting. I get my hands on as many series as I can. I watch, I study, I get really into the performances. I try to sort of like break out the different things that I learn when I come into Laughing Vikings. Like you said, I try to just bring in material that I'm really drawn to, stuff that I do in acting class, or things that I just like scenes that I love from movies that I love, and I want to be able to do my own take on them. I just think it's important to continue to work your especially as an actor, just to keep working your brain and keep working your memory skills. So sort of the larger sections of dialogue or long monologues, it's really good just as it's like taking cuts in a batting cage kind of a thing. Like athletes do this thing all the time where they're just constantly practicing, taking their ground strokes, working the net game, taking their cuts in the batting cage, throwing footballs, bumping volleyballs, whatever your preferred sport. And actors have to kind of have the same approach. You have to work on your breathing, you have to work on your mindset, you have to work on your physicality. So the wide funnel approach is how I look at this thing. And I can literally do this all day long, and I'm just it's inexhaustible. It's just that's how I look at acting. It's just something that I'm absolutely crazy about.
One more time for Adam Daniel Mazay. Thank you. We love having you in the studio. We love seeing you. And also shout out, you have been, I don't know if we have an official title, but you might be like our #1 listener to the podcast too. Weekly, we do a live podcast where we talk about different aspects of the business. As an actor and as a comedian, we often have guest comedians and guest actors on the show, other industry professionals like agents and casting directors and faculty teachers. And you always seem to be there. So congratulations to you. I do want to express to everyone how close and how hard this contest was. First of all, we love all three of these finalists. We love their work too. They're all brilliant actors in their own respects. We've seen a ton of their work. We've seen their success. We've seen their growth. So this was so hard. And this was like if it was like 1, 2, it was a photo finish is what I'm saying. It was just noses at the finish line. And so for that reason, I'd be remiss if we didn't bring our consolation second place audition hero here at Actors Audition Club. Please make some noise. Snap, snap, snaps for Jareen Ignatius. There she is. Hello, hello, hello.
Hi, guys. Hi, Lars. Adam, congratulations.
Thank you,
And
Jareen.
congratulations to Pippa
So
as well.
Jareen, your prize, we didn't have it listed. We were going to just give away one prize, and then I'm like, no, there's going to be a grand prize, and we're going to do second place and third place. So we're going to give you a 3-pack of audition sessions. And the crazy thing is, Jareen and I, we've never met in person, but I love her, and I feel like I've seen you so much, and we get to know each other. Brandon works with you a ton too. You have such a great energy, so much enthusiasm. I know that you're also a member of Tom Todoroff's weekly workshop, so we speak the same language as far as guideposts and vocal variation and viewpoints, so that we can really talk about our auditions in a scientific language. When we give directions to you, you know exactly what we're talking about, and you're able to implement that. But can you share with everyone here? I know a lot of people saw your transformation video that you submitted, but can you share a little bit about your transformation? Because I know this has been like a year-long journey for you over the past little while. And then part of that was connecting with us for your auditions. So share a little bit about your journey and some tips and advice and inspiration for everyone watching today.
Sure. Thanks, Lars. I mean, a lot of that Adam covered a bit about, being passionate about, you shouldn't be having 2 plans, plan B. You have to, this is your plan. And you go at it 100%. So that's something I want to emphasize again. With my thing, so I got my agent last June, and I started auditioning. I'm getting a lot of commercial auditions, but when it comes to film and TV, not as much as I wanted. And I know that I'm sort of in this minority, the pot. So I know that it may not be as much as I want it to be. But every audition, whether it's commercial, when it comes to commercial, I do anything and everything because I want these muscles to be, put at practice. That's what Tom always says. How much you give in, that's how much you get back. So I want to give my not 100%, 200% so that I get 100% back. So I go at all the auditions, and and on top of that, I haven't booked any TV films so far, but I booked a student film, which I applied for. Well, it was a beautiful experience. And the director from Humber College, he might even send that to festivals. It was a beautiful film. And I actually booked about 2 commercials as well thus far. So there's been success. I call them milestones. I don't call them success. These are milestones as an actor, because my career as an acting is a lifelong career. So there is not going to be like one success. It's every milestone that you achieve. So I continue to go at it, and it's not about whether I book a job. It's about making that good impression among the casting directors. And one important thing I would say, so this year, not this year, but from last November onward, I started to go after jobs myself as well. Because when it comes to film and TV, I mean, my agent would be able to do only so much, and I cannot be relying on my agent 100%. So what I started doing, I started looking for, from all these sites that we're part of, the Actors Access or Casting Workbook, and sometimes on social media, you see these castings, and I apply for from students films to independent feature films to any festival short films and all that, and I am getting a lot of, like, within the last 10 days, I must have done about 4 or 5 auditions. I don't know what the results are going to be, but I've done about 4 or 5 auditions on my I submitted on my own. So it's about the passion that Tom always says. It's, you have to go at it to 100%, and it's okay whether how far I go with it, what it's going to be. I don't think about it. I only focus on either I have to be in a class, or I have to be doing auditions, or I have to be on the set. So I got to put these muscles at work 100%. So I enjoy the process itself, like, so much. Every time I do these auditions with Brandon, we laugh out a lot about figuring out, and it's very thrilling to find to discover all these nuances, when you're doing the scene work, and that excites me the most than anything else. So my journey, I always say, no one can stop me from being an actor. I'm an opportunity-wise, I will create my opportunities as well. So no one can stop me from being an actor, and that's something that I will continue forever. There is no plan B. So that's what I want to say to everyone. Like, you got to be in it, or you have to be in it 100%, and you have to put all these muscles at work. And the other important thing is, again, like Tom says, your vocal work, it's very, very important, because I have seen a lot of actors, sometimes these self-tapes I have seen, you don't connect as I wish sometimes their vocal quality is at best, so I wish you got to work on your not just your craft itself, the scene studies and the choices you make, but your voice is very, very important. It's connected to your emotion 100%. So put some training in that regard as well. And takes classes all the time, learn from various people. Now that we are living in the Zoom world, all these great opportunities are open to you. At your fingertips. So continue to learn, continue to discover, continue to go after your passion. That's it. Just don't stop, and don't think about, don't be anxious about, am I going to get a job today? Don't be anxious about, because don't waste your energy in terms of worrying about the future. You have no control over what you could do in the future, what will happen in the future. For example, I'm a very short person. I'm actually under 5 feet. And I used to feel so complex when I was back home, and even after migrated to Canada in the beginning, I used to feel so much, like a smaller person. And one day, like when I was in India, someone told me that, it's not about your size, it's about the energy that you bring on stage or behind the camera. From that day onward, I started doing a lot of physical activities. Like, I've started doing martial arts, I've started doing contemporary dance. So for me, and after that, and when I was in India, when I go on the set, people would ask me, are you an actor? And I asked, why are you asking me that? Like, are you a theater actor? Because I asked, why are you asking me that? And they would say, well, I could see the way you carry. And they say that energy just comes through. So you can only, control things that are under your control. So I could control my voice. I could control how my energy transforms. I could control my craft. I could control being calm. But I cannot control anything else. I cannot control, my size, my height. I cannot control the shape. I cannot control, nothing else I can control. But I am determined that I will work on things that I have control over, and the universe will give you something for that in return. So just follow your heart, go after the passion, give you 100%. If like Tom always says, if you take this as a hobby, then your career is going to be a hobby. So take this as a serious thing, then only you will get, if you give 200%, you'll get 100%. So yeah, that's about it.
Okay, that's fair.
Yes, Jareen Ignatius. You see why these people won? She was spitting fire there. For a second, I was like, I could probably just go and let Adam and Jareen teach this masterclass.
Hope I didn't took too much.
Congratulations. Love so many things that you were saying there. I was getting the Coles Notes version, talking about going after your passion, talking about voice, talking about controlling what you can and letting go
I was
of what
taking
you
notes.
can't. And I love how determined you are to make your own opportunities, finding auditions on your own. All of that is amazing. So congratulations to our Audition Hero winners. Shaquille James Hostin, our third place winner, who's going to win a free session here in the studio. Jareen Ignatius, our runner-up, who is going to win a 3-pack of audition sessions via Zoom is how we connect. And the grand prize winner, one more time, for Adam Daniel Mazet, our Audition Hero 2022 at Actors Audition Club. Congratulations. You guys are amazing. You're going to win an annual membership and a 10-pack. And as promised, you're going to get a t-shirt, your own Audition Hero t-shirt. And if you ever show up to the studio and you're not wearing that Audition Hero t-shirt, out. Oh, Shaquille is here. Amazing. All right. Let's bring our third place champ in here as well. Ladies and gentlemen, Shaquille James Hostins. Welcome to the studio. There he is. Shaquille, I had asked everyone, hello. Congratulations. Just a heads up, I'm having some technical difficulties, which is rare, but you got to roll with it. So I had asked you to share a little bit of your transformation over the last year. I know you just had a big milestone being on Murdoch Mysteries in that role with a couple actors who were Canadian icons. So share a little bit about that journey with everyone. Your transformation, and I know you're an amazing inspirational speaker too. So share some with the rest of the Audition Heroes on this call.
All right. Well, first off, I just want to know if everybody can hear me. Check 1 2 3, loud and clear. Okay, because yeah. All right. Everything's like playing backwards. So, well, where do I start? It's been nuts. I'm not new to this industry at all. I'm not new to a lot of this stuff. This is not my first rodeo. But booking this recent role, seeing myself in such a lengthy role, right? Yeah, it was nuts. It was nuts. Hold on, I'm gonna take these headphones out. I'm just gonna chat because like the playback is it's bothering me. Yeah, like it's been absolutely nuts. It's been just a wild ride, and honestly, I couldn't be more grateful for how far I've come and the fact that everything now is falling into place. It's very easy to lose yourself when you do something like this, and it's very easy to, you know what I mean, think that you're not good enough. Your efforts are lackluster, you know what I mean? But as long as you have that belief and that strength, that fire inside of you to keep going no matter what, eventually you will get to where you need to be. But it starts with you. It starts with you. You know what I mean? Working on this show recently, Murdoch Mysteries, was absolutely fantastic. Just being in that environment, being on set, the level of talent that was with me, words can't describe. You know, I got to do a lot in that episode, if you saw, you know what I mean? So, yeah, the experience was absolutely incredible. And believe me, I was 100% manifesting when I was on that set, so I can bring more blessings like this in my life. And I wholeheartedly believe that, you know what I mean, that is the case. And we're only going to move up from here. You know what I mean? My transformation has really just been, letting go of ignorance. I've been ignorant um, these past forever years. I'll just leave it at that in this industry. You know what I mean? I studied this in college, and right after college, you know what I mean, I was able to land representation. Uh, we had a showcase at a theater downtown. We rented out a light box and we invited agents and whatnot there. And, all of the work and stuff that we did in college, we put on a demo reel. And then after the first intermission, I was getting approached and I was like, well, hey, you know what I mean? And, eventually I signed on the dotted line. Things didn't work out with an agent. You know what I mean? So, I just I went around, I hit up the other one. I was like, you want to do this? And, I just felt that, okay, you know what I mean? I got that representation. We're good. I'm young, confident, handsome. I'll make it in this industry. And you find out real quick, it's like, mm-mm, it's not like that at all, sir. You know, not to go against everything that we stand for here in the Laughing Vikings of love and appreciation, but you find out real quick that like you're not as special as you think sometimes. You know what I mean? You have an arrogance in yourself, like I did, like I got this, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But then you find out real quick, it's like, hey, but um, to brighten it up, I would say to just remain humble and, always have that belief in yourself. Just always remain humble and, you know, have that belief. Know that, okay, I can do it. I'm capable of this, right? But, keep it to yourself. Be modest when you're going out there and you're doing this kind of thing. You know what I mean? Don't be intimidated. Don't be intimidated by another performer, right? Because that was another thing as well when the world was normal, right? And we would sit down in these auditions and whatever, and you would see people, and sometimes it would sort of jilt you. Or sometimes, you know what I mean, you would be right outside the door and you could hear everything that's going on in there, and you're like, damn, that person delivered the line like this. You know what I mean? You just have to have modesty, and you just have to know that you know what, I got it. I got it. I'm good. Like, you're special in your own way. I'm special in my own way, and you know what I mean. We'll just leave it at that. I got something to offer, just like maybe that person has something to offer. That person, whatever, whatever. But you have to be comfortable with yourself and in your own skin. And, the one thing that I've taken away from these past couple of days on these streams and whatnot is that, you really have to do the work. I was somebody who relied on representation, finding me the opportunities, because really, that's what happens. It's like once you become unionized, right? Sorry, you are a little bit limited in a way. You can't start going out and finding, certain projects and stuff like that to work on, because most things are non-union. And it's like, wait, I am union and I have representation. So it's like you gotta sort of move strategically, right? But, at the same time, you can still network, you can still work on yourself, you know what I mean, build a portfolio, get some good shots done, you know what I mean, take care of your body, take lessons, etc., etc. I'm not going to go over it because everybody went over it already, but you know what I mean, at the end of the day, we all know the drill, and we all know what we need to do. So that's been my journey in this industry so far. And, you know what I mean? That's just been my big learning curve. You know what I'm saying? Is I honestly wish that I did a lot more for the longest time, because I do believe that had I done that, I would be 9 miles ahead of where I am now. But I can't look at things like that, because what's done is done, and I really just need to look forward. I had a huge opportunity just now, bless me. I need to ride this wave, and it's not going to crash anytime soon. I'm going to ride it till forever. And, I'm just going to keep the spirits high and keep going in the direction of, of my dreams and my goals. You see what I'm saying? I made a vision board 2 years ago on December 31st of 2020. I remember putting that thing up on my wall. And already I've manifested a few things on that board. So, you know what I'm saying? There's many more things that will come to fruition. And, you know, I'm sure everybody's had, their time to throw in some input and some advice to everyone and whatnot. If it's one thing that I can tell everybody to do, is make a damn vision board, because that stuff works. You know what I'm saying? Get yourself a Bristol board from the dollar store. Google Images, magazines, whatever it is, cut it out, stick it up somewhere, right? And have that as your motivation to keep going. Because when you see the goal, it becomes the goal, and you start working toward everything. You see what I'm saying? So visualize that. Just visualize that, and keep your head up in these uncertain times. So anyway, that's all I have to say. I hope you thoroughly entertained. So
Shaquille James Hostins, everyone. Amazing. Fire. Just everyone's spitting fire. Man, Shaquille's actually been on the podcast earlier. You can check him out in one of our episodes. Jareen and Adam, we're going to have you on your own episodes as well. I love so many things that you said there, talking about having that fire inside you, talking about making things happen. The vision board was amazing. And there's one thing I've always noticed about you, Shaquille, is you come in here and your fucking game face is on. And that role that you booked on Murdoch Mysteries, you came in that day and you were not a man to be messed with. You were like, I'm getting this one. I really want this one. And lo and behold, you got it. You got to fight for what you want in this life. And the saddest thing in the world is seeing someone in a session where they come in and the first thing out of their mouth is, oh, I don't think I'm going to get this, or, oh, I just cut the sides, or, oh, the writing sucks, or, oh, I'm not right for this, or I wasn't able to prepare very much, or, yeah, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do in this one. And it's just like, why are you even here then? Like, why are you wasting your time, your agent's time, casting's time, our time? Say no to that one if you don't think it's right for you. But loved everything all of you said there. It was amazing. Congrats one more time to our Audition Heroes at Actors Audition Club 2022. And for the gram here, let's get a nice big close-up. Come forward to your camera. A little one of these. Come on, Shaquille, get in here. Get in here. There you go. For the screenshot, Brando grabs some screenshot. Jareen, give me some eyes to your camera up top, up here. There you go. All right. Yes, congratulations, everyone. Pop off in the comments, show all of them some love, and maybe you listen to some of those things that they said and write them down, and next year you can be the audition hero just like them. Congrats. We'll reach out with all of your prize packs. Thanks for being here. Thanks for joining us in the studio today. Love all of you guys and girl. You're amazing. You're inspiring. You guys are the best. So thank you for being here and congratulations. I know how hard all of you worked. So it's a pleasure. And one thing I just want to point out is every one of those people, when they're auditioning, it's fun. It's a joyful experience. It's not stressful. It's not heavy. It's supposed to be fun. Tom Todoroff, our acting coach, always says, it's called a play. It's called a play. It's supposed to be fun. When we were kids playing in a sandbox, it wasn't heavy and you weren't thinking like, oh, geez, what choice did I make here? Oh, I don't know what the backstory is on this guy. And should I do this or should I do that? Should I say it this way or should I don't know what they want. I don't know what they want. Just fucking play with your toys. All right. And those sessions, they're always joyful. They're always positive. When I'm in the studio here and they're in the back room, I'm hearing laughter. I'm hearing Brandon and the other session directors laughing and cheering. And one of my favorite things in the world is hearing Brandon go at the end of a killer take, go, this is Brandon. This is my impression of Brandon. Fuck yeah. 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 That's it. That's it. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. That was it. And the actor's like, yeah, you like that one? Fuck yeah, that was it. That was it. Oh, that was fire. That was fire. And that's the way it's supposed to be. So if your audition experience right now is not joyful and happy and creative and exciting, I'm telling you, you're doing it wrong. And hopefully some of this this talk and some of these live workshops and all the fire that they were spitting is rubbing off on you. So the next time you get an audition, you can make it a joyful, fun, positive experience. Because guess what? Who do you think casting and production wants to spend time with? Do they want to spend time with someone who's anxious and concerned and heavy and having to ask like, oh, what do you want me to do? Should I sit? Should I stand? Should I say it this way? No, they want fully expressed human beings who are positive and full of love and full of brilliant choices and are great storytellers, not someone who's going to stress them out and remind them of all their life's anxieties, or someone that they got to give therapy throughout the shoot. So congratulations to all of you. Again, pop off in the comments, give them some love. Now, I just want to talk about a little big picture as we bring this home on day 3 here at Audition Hero. The big picture as an actor and as a performer, and some of this applies to your life in general as well, is, again, starting with that hero mindset, stepping up into the hero role in your life, refusing to remain in a background part or a bit part or even like a day player. Don't be a day player part in your own life. You got to show up every day to your own life with some vision, with a 5-year plan, with a 10-year plan, with a 20-year plan, with a 100-year plan for you and your family. Just be thinking bigger. So again, starting with that mindset. Kevin Figueroa from Mexico, thank you all for your time, wise words. Kevin, you're one of the wisest, and you're super young too. So thank you for being on the call today. And so mindset training. And my suggestion to you, if you're wondering where to start, find books about personal development and mindset. Listen to podcasts. Some great ones that I listen to are School of Greatness, Mind Your Business. I also listen to, in acting space, I listen to Armchair Expert with Dax Shepard, and he interviews a bunch of brilliant actors, and you get to hear their takes. And also you can listen to Laughing Vikings Live. Little shameless plug there. We're on all the platforms. So make sure, if you haven't done it already, at some point, go and smash that subscribe button, as they say, on your favorite podcast platform, or you can go to laughingvikings.com to find it. So the big picture is how are you going to get what you want in your life? Start with your mind. There's no point learning, like if you're learning craft and technique and all this stuff, but your mind's fucked up and you're really negative and you're in a victim mentality, it's not going to work. You can learn you can learn the techniques and all the craft, but at the end of the day, you have to have your mind right. Everything starts with your mind. It starts with your thinking. Thoughts become things, which then become habits, and then eventually become your destiny. So if your mind is not right and you're not thinking, I'm the hero of my own life every day, you're going to have challenges to get there. Second thing in that overall system is, if you got your mind right, well, now you got to have a system when it comes to auditionings. When you're in a situation where you need to still audition and fight for those roles, you need to have that hero system. And we talked about that in day 2. We use the acronym HERO for home studio. So taking a look at your home studio, you're a professional. Do you look around in your place and see the things that a professional would be using? And if you see a camera stacked on some books on a wonky setup, and you see some random dude who's not an actor and has no TV film experience or expertise, think about this. How many TV shows and films would you watch and the crew has no experience and neither do any of the actors? It doesn't happen. People are professionals. They have years of training, years of study, and they're experts and they're pros. So you got to allow yourself to step up into that professional scenario. And so that's why day 2 challenge was to look at your home studio. We live in a day and age where every one of us is a media company first. Doesn't matter what you do, be a media company first, because you can blast these messages out to the world. You can showcase yourself, you can connect and network. And if you look around and you don't have it, well, what can you do? Do you need to invest in some lights? Do you need to grab a backdrop? Do you need to upgrade your camera? Do you need to get a mic? So really look at those things. The E in Hero was execution. So executing a plan. When you get an audition, do you have a plan? Do you follow a plan? Or are you always winging it? Guess what? If you're winging every day of your life, the results you get are going to be the results of someone who wings things and just kind of goes by their gut. One day you look at a script and it really strikes you and you have these brilliant ideas, and another day, maybe not. One day you spend the whole day rehearsing and you really get into it. Another day you just kind of grab it and say the words and you didn't put too much thought into it. So executing a plan so that when you get that audition, you just go into execute mode. You're in business mode and you're like, bam, I'm going to nail this. Like you become unstoppable, and you become a person like Shaquille James Hoskins. When he walks in here, he means business. He's done his preparation. Same with Shireen, same with Adam. And they're coming down into the studio to deliver really an on-set game day performance, not coming in wishy-washy and all willy-nilly. And then the R was rehearsing and recording, making sure you have a proper rehearsal, like a rehearsal routine. So are you saying your lines 250 times? Brandon had a commercial callback today where he had one line. Guess how many times he told me he said that in preparing? 250 fucking times. And the line was, okay, I also like the taste. And he said it 250 times in rehearsing for his callback. He could have not said it. I mean, it doesn't take us too long to say a line. We're all human beings. We said sentences, but he took it as a professional, as a craft. He said it a million different ways, so it was in his body. And it's that idea of in practice how you play. You look at professionals. If you're a sports person, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Tom Brady, all these champions, they practice like they play. They're the first ones on the practice field. They're the last ones to leave. And the idea of don't rehearse until you get it right. Rehearse until you can't get it wrong. And I've done that in the past where I rehearsed until it was like, oh yeah, okay, I got a clean take of that. And I was able to get through all the dialogue. And now I know it. Okay, well, now you're just beginning. Or it's like, I think it was Muhammad Ali. It's like when he was doing like sit-ups. How many sit-ups do you do? He doesn't even start counting until he's at fatigue level and he's dying. Like it's killing him. And he's like, okay, now the work begins. So rehearse, do it different ways. Find a rehearsal partner. Take it seriously. And then when you're recording it, do you have a proper recording setup? Are you treating it like a professional? Do you have proper lighting? Do you have a proper backdrop? Does it sound good? Do you have a reader opposite with you? Or are you recording it in such a way that when casting and production gets it, their first impression is going to be, this person's an amateur. I don't know if I want to trust $50,000 a minute on set in this person. Are they going to be able to deliver when there's 100 crew members and a crane shot in their face and explosions going on? It needs to be in their body and they need to be rock solid. So you need to have that recording set up so that you know everything that you're submitting is your best foot forward, so that you're never having the feeling. You don't ever want to have the feeling, man, did I just miss the opportunity of a lifetime? I just had a lead role audition and I kind of winged it and it wasn't great. And I didn't really do my research. I didn't really know the tone of the show. The lighting was kind of crappy. I wasn't able to use a proper actor. So it was my neighbor reading and they sounded like crap and it was very distracting. And then you walk away and you're like, shit, well, if it's not happening for you in your life and you're dropping the ball on those opportunities, it's like carpe diem, seize the fucking day. Grab those opportunities, and you grab them by being at your best every single time. And then the O in that hero system was observation, and sort of in the idea of some debriefing, some taking a look at things. Maybe it's journaling, maybe it's asking yourself some questions, maybe it's getting some feedback from a session director, or your agent, so that you can see where you're at and then just break it down. How did I feel on the day? How did I feel about that audition? How did I feel about the final product? What was my prep like? So that, again, it's this checks and balances system of growing and challenging yourself and getting better, and then checking it, and sort of using that, not sort of, using that scientific method to continually and gradually improve, so that you one day become the 20-year overnight success that all of us are striving to be, or you do it sooner than that. So, and then the third thing about the big picture. So if you got your mindset, you got your system, well, then you need other people. You're not in this alone. You need to have a community. You need to have either a local community or a remote global village community, like many of us do have. You need to have a support system so that you have people around you to light you up. You have someone to help you with this audition. You have a rehearsal buddy. You have a recording buddy. You have other people to inspire you, other people that you can use as a sounding board. Maybe it's a show or a type of audition that you're not familiar with. You can show sides to someone and be like, well, what do you think of this? What do you think's going on here in this? Like someone other than yourself, so that you're not feeling you're in this alone, and really you're not. And it's about, sometimes it's about being humble enough to ask for help and to lean on others and to build your team of an agent, a manager, a trainer, a dietitian, a nutritionist, maybe a therapist, some family support, hopefully. But if you don't have that in your family, you seek that out otherwise. So congratulations for all of you guys for being here and in the Audition Hero community with Actors Audition Club, because you already have that. And hopefully you're starting to feel that. I definitely feel that with Jareen and Adam and Shaquille, that we are tight knit. I know all the Totteroff Conservatory people and the Saturday Workshop people are in a global community, and hopefully you feel stronger than ever as a performer, because you feel like you've got people who got your back. And it's that sort of Navy SEAL idea of leave no man or woman behind. You need some help. Well, we're going to fucking grab you and drag you there. But hopefully you've done your own work, and you're working to get yourself there. But we all fall down from time to time. So you need that community. So switching to some of the roadblocks, some of you might still have some roadblocks or obstacles. So I want you right now to pop off. Maybe you've smashed them all and you're like, fuck yeah, I'm a hero already. Nothing's going to stop me. 2022 is my year. We're making dreams come true in 2022. But if you don't, pop off. Do you have some obstacles? Do you have some old stories that you're telling yourself that you think are still holding you back? We talked about the mental stuff. We talked about the obstacle or the challenge of like, oh, I don't have enough time. You've got time. You got to make time. We've all got the same amount of time, and that's a limited resource. So it's about making time. Tom always says, love makes time, and love takes time, and love makes time. Really love something, you got to make time for it, whether it's a relationship or an acting career. If you're only spending a half an hour to rehearse something that could change your life, well, do you think a half an hour rehearsal is going to be life-changing? Or are you spending the entire week deep diving? And then you submit an audition. And then something that I've, in a lot of the big roles that I booked, I didn't stop working the script between my first audition and a callback. Even though I didn't know I would get a callback, I was operating like I would. And I don't always do that, but I can count a few of those scenarios. The big ones, Almost Genius, Oh Yuck, See, and Fear Thy Neighbor, all of my biggest credits and biggest experiences as an actor. In between my first audition, I was operating like I'm getting a callback, and I didn't stop working those. A lot of people tear up their script after first auditions. I don't. I'll tear my script after I shoot it on set, but I'm operating like I'm going to get a callback. So having that mentality that you're going to make the time and you're going to put in the time, and then it's going to be like, I'm putting in all this time. Now look at all these rewards. And it's that return on investment. Invest more time, energy, money, emotions, and you're going to start getting that return. We talked about the obstacle of not having money. Some of you might not have all kinds of money to dump into this. Well, you got to do what you can, where you are with what you got. You got to figure out how to borrow things, how to call in favors, how to ask for help, how to just maybe set aside money. And if you want something bad enough, you got to make it happen. And it's like Jareen was saying, burn your bridges and don't have a plan B. Most people who achieve major things in their life, they didn't do it knowing that they were going to fall back on something. they did it with a mentality that they were going to do it at all costs, no matter what. And really, if you're an actor and you do have a plan B, maybe you shouldn't be an actor. A lot of people will say, if you can do anything else but this, go do that. And there's a lot of people in the entertainment world that they're doing this because they don't know how to do anything and they don't know how to live any other way but to live as a performer, as an artist. Joao Pino says, community to create stage plays, film, and TV shows. I'm on it, folks, to do great teamwork. Boom. Joao, you are going to, I'm excited for Portugal. I feel like Portugal is going to have a booming TV and film industry very, very soon, if it doesn't already. And Joao is going to be a big part of that. Or we'll just steal them over here into Canada and the United States, and you can just work with us and we can collaborate here. But I think you're going to do big things in Portugal and wherever you go. Same thing with you, Kevin, in Mexico. All of your countries are blessed to have you. And I love the fact that we have a global community here. It's amazing. What about no support? Sometimes people don't have family support. Well, guess what? The whispers that the universe is giving you in your ears and in your mind and in your dreams at night, they're not meant for other people. They don't need your mom or your dad or your brother or sister. Your dreams don't need them. So if you're clinging to the fact that, oh, my spouse doesn't, or my mom and dad are still bugging me, or my friends, they make fun of me and don't think I'm going to make it. I mean, if they're your family, you got to figure out a way to love them and to have some kind of relationship with them. You don't want to burn those bridges completely, but you certainly got to learn to maybe put some earmuffs on a little bit. And just remember that your dreams were whispered to you, not to them. They aren't their dreams. So why would you expect them to feel the same way about your dreams? They're not your dreams. So, or they're not their dreams. So don't expect that from other people. Just expect, hey, this is my dream. I will make it happen. I will be the best that I can be. I will be so great that people can't ignore me. And what'll happen is people will just see you and they're like, man, that woman, she's on fucking fire. He's on fire. I want what he's got. I want a part of that. And then all of a sudden the universe will do amazing things. And people are like, how can I help? And it would be like giving you money to build your home studio. Joao says, that is helping me so much, Lars, in this phase of my life. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. I'm glad it is. Some people talked about no agents. Don't let no agent stop you. That's a story that you're telling yourself. Don't let any story that you're telling yourself stop you. Yeah, it's great to have an agent. Yeah, that can open up some big doors, but there's ways to create your own projects, to write your own short films and write your own sketches and create your own YouTube channel, and to find professional opportunities online without an agent. And guess what? When you're so fucking good, an agent is going to see you in something and be like, what? You're not represented? I got room. You know, it's the same thing with relationships. You see people and you meet people and you're like, how the fuck are you single? What, like, hello, like, how are you not taken right now? And then people are flocking towards you. So again, the idea of start with yourself. Don't throw out all those old stories, man. If you're ever telling yourself a story, and just remember it's a story, it's not fact. All these things that our brain tells us stuff, it's our lizard brain telling us things to maybe shield us from fear or harm. Like it's the old lizard thing, the fight or flight. And we're making up problems and worrying about the future, but it's all mostly bullshit. And also one thing that I've learned in the last year, that when I heard this, I was like, man, that's the best thing I've ever heard. When you have these negative thoughts and these self-doubts, you know how when you have a negative thought or a shitty feeling, you know how it feels bad? Like you have a shitty thought either about yourself or about your situation, and physically it feels bad, versus the feeling of joy and happiness and enthusiasm and excitement. That feels good. It lights you up. The reason it feels bad, one of my business coaches, James Wedmore, shout out to James at BBD, and he said, the reason that things like that, like having a scarcity mindset, for example, the reason it feels bad and heavy is because it's not the truth. The universe is abundant. The universe is very specific. It's abundant. There's no limit to it. The universe is not putting restrictions on itself. The universe just is. It's just fucking light. And at our purest source, all of us are literally balls of energy and balls of light. We're not these physically stupid meat suits with all these negative thoughts running through us. We're just pure light from space floating around. Not to get too metaphysical, but sorry, we're just all balls of light. So be light, and be light in how you operate, and operate from that abundance and joy mentality versus being heavy. And when you feel those negative thoughts, just be like, remember what James Wedmore and Lars told me. This feels shitty because it is not true. It's not true, which is why it doesn't feel right. You ever feel something that feels right? How does it feel? It feels fucking amazing, right? You feel light, you feel joyful, you're popping off, your neurons are popping, and you got all this dopamine and oxytocin and all these good chemicals running through you. And it's because that's the truth. That's the real deal right there. So Joao says, light to win auditions and heal from the negative. Kevin Figueroa says, where's Kevin? I alone have the power to choose. Am I breaking out of old habits or perpetuating them? Yeah. And the fact, man, I envy you guys so much, because Kevin and Joao, you're like, I know you're early 20s, mid 20s. Man, I didn't figure any of this stuff out till like 5 years ago. So the fact that you're even in this conversation right now blows my mind. And 20 years from now, when I see where you guys are, you're going to be blowing me out of the fucking water. So I can't wait to see what you guys do. Also, if you live in a small market, that's another obstacle. People are like, I live in Lebanon. I live in Calgary. I live in a small town. I'm not in LA. I'm not in New York. Yeah, obviously you get to LA, you get to New York, you get to in Canada, Toronto, Vancouver, Montreal. The more action happening, the more productions. By math, statistically, there are more things happening there. But don't let that limit you. Start figuring out a plan. What can you do where you are right now? Make the most of the situation you do have. Maybe right now you can be the big fish in a small pond. Not that you want to remain there, but you can start being the guy in your town or the girl in your town that's creating these opportunities for you and other people. And then you're knowing, it's kind of the idea of win local and then go global. Or if you are really lamenting it, stop lamenting it and fucking move if you can. If you have the ability to do it and you're like, it's not going to happen to me. Like if you actually believe that you need to be in LA or New York to have a career and to book roles, then guess what? Get there, figure it out, set a plan in motion, ask for help, and just work towards that. Or do what you can with what you got where you are. So those are some of the roadblocks. We are who we are because of who we meet. I think about this all the time. I think about it in conservatory. I'm in a conservatory right now. Many of you are here with the Tom Todoroff Conservatory, typically based in New York, but because of COVID, it's now a global Zoom hybrid opportunity where people are in person, but people are also remote. And I think about that. There's 22 people on that, range from like 20 to like 65, all over the world in all kinds of countries. And I'm like, what are the fucking odds that these 22 people would come into a room together? It's like zilch. It's like what are the odds the universe started? What are the odds of the Big Bang? It's so fucking rare. And the same thing applies right now. All the people on this call, the fact that you're listening to this right now and connecting with this, we have people in Lebanon and Portugal and Mexico and the UK. It's mind-blowing. The fact that we're all together here, it's like I really do think about that. That is something special. So the fact that any of us are here together, the fact that you're even alive right now. I hear Gary V, one of my mentors, Gary Vaynerchuk, he says something like, the odds of even being a human being, for you to win that DNA race, to be born, is like 1 in 4 billion. So the fact that you woke up today and you're a human being, that's like a ridiculous miracle. You could have been like a fucking slug or a plant or something. And like, no shade to slugs and plants, but I feel like the human experience is probably one of the best experiences. And the fact that we are all one and we're still alive is incredible. So it's amazing. So thank you. Blast those obstacles. Now, I got a big announcement here to make, something that I'm super excited about as we wrap up this call and as we wrap up Audition Hero. We are about to open the 2022 enrollment of Actors Audition Club. Our Laughing Vikings Actors Audition Club. We've been running auditions and helping actors with auditions since 2017. We've helped hundreds of actors doing thousands of auditions for commercials, theater, TV, film, voiceover, video games, and mocap. and we've helped them book all kinds of roles in all of those markets, live and in person, and over via Zoom internationally. And we're proud to say that we're opening our enrollment in a few days. Our 2022 enrollment period is going to be opening, where we're going to be expanding our membership. You saw Shaquille, Adam, and Jareen, who are Audition heroes for 2022, as fantastic examples of some of the people in our community. So we're going to throw a link up there. I'll talk briefly about it, but we'll throw up a link. Brandon will throw it in the chat. And there's a link. You can throw yourself on the wait list so that you're first to be notified when that enrollment period opens up. And you like what you see here and you want to be a part of this community, you can be one of the first to have access when we do open up the enrollments. So I'll talk a little bit about it here. And again, there'll be more information later that you'll have access to, especially those to go to that wait list at laughingvikings.com/join, laughingvikings.com/join. We're going to open it up soon. And it's just a brief window that we do to open that up. And then after that, we want to spend all of our time focusing on our new members so that we don't have a year-long enrollment period. We do these kind of events, and we do a big rush, and we open up the enrollment to actors internationally, and then we close it, and then we spend our time building that community and building those actors up. So our mission here at Laughing Vikings Actors Audition Club is to uplift, inspire, and empower a global audience of 1 billion people by helping 1,000 actors tell their stories via TV, film, and live performances. That's what we do here. That's why we're helping. We're not just helping people book an audition so they can make a few bucks in a commercial. We're helping people book these massive roles to tell these amazing stories so that people in general in the world can be inspired, can be uplifted, can be empowered. Shaquille, one thing that really struck me in his Audition Hero video is he mentioned one of his life goals as an actor and as a person is to inspire young Black men who maybe don't have those role models in their life. And that is like, you can book every role in the world, but the role that you're going to look back at the end of your life that was the game changer for you and the thing that's going to be the most fulfilling is achieving that goal of helping young Black boys reach their full potential. So kudos to you, Shaquille, for that. But that's what we're doing here. So what is Actors Audition Club? Briefly, what it entails is our members, what we're starting this year in 2022, much like this live workshop, all of our members are going to be invited to a monthly live audition training, typically via Zoom, where we'll actually be able to interact. I know this is somewhat of a one-way workshop here, but our monthly live trainings with Q&A, where every month we pick a new topic, could be auditions, could be Zoom auditions, could be talking about getting an agent, could be talking about up-leveling your home studio, all the way down to the fine little specifics of a career. And also we open that up to Q&A so that if you got things that are bugging you or struggles and obstacles, those monthly Q&A Zooms, that's the time where you have that opportunity to ask questions of us. And more so than, I'm not the be all and end all, and neither are our session directors. So it's an opportunity as a community to lean on other people. So you have a sounding board and you throw something out to the group and you say, hey, I'm having a challenge with this. Can someone recommend something for that? And then you get all these other people who have all this brilliant life experience and brilliant acting experience who are there to help you and support you. And it's just the idea of like 1 + 1 does not equal 2, 1 + 1 = 3, and 1 + 1 + 1 does not equal 3. That equals like 8, and so on and so forth. It's like you put a bunch of brains together and all of a sudden we do amazing things. So the first big part of the Actors Audition Club membership, which Adam is, as part of his grand prize, is getting a year-long membership on us, is those monthly live audition trainings where intimately and interactively via Zoom, you're able to ask questions. There'll be a little bit of a topic, and then we open it up to Q&A. The second big thing is a private VIP community. A lot of you have been interacting in the Audition Hero Facebook community, where you're able to meet people. You're meeting people from around the world so that when you have the chance to travel, you're going to have friends on the other line. Joao and Kevin, moving from Portugal and Mexico. The brilliant thing about you making all these connections is now when you go to LA and New York, you're not going there solo. You're going there to immediately be able to plug yourself into a community. And even if you never left, your home countries, you're already in a community. So that's super valuable. And all of our members are going to be part of that Audition Club private community where, same thing, you got issues, you got problems, you need help. You're able to use that group as a sounding board, and you're able to share those issues. And not only to get help, but you're able to give help too, because that's one of the best things ever, being able to help someone and teach someone. Every time you teach someone something, you're learning it again as you get to say it. So that's one of the big reasons why I love to run these sessions, is every time I'm doing this, I'm drilling all this stuff into my head, and I want to hear it again, and I want to learn it again. And it gives me the opportunity to share and help you guys and uplift you, but it just reinforces it for me. So that private community is a big part of the Actors Audition Club experience. And the third thing is, for a lot of our members, the most important thing is access to our audition session directors via Zoom and or in studio. Some of you won those challenges. Ilya, Victoria, and Pippa will be reaching out for those Zoom sessions so that you have that audition system. So now you got monthly live trainings, you got a private VIP community to interact with. And the second you do get that audition, whether it's through an agent or something you found on your own, you don't have to panic and get all anxious and be like, oh, how am I going to figure this out? Where am I going to record it? Who am I going to bug? Who am I going to get, a family member or a neighbor? No, you click a few buttons online on our website, boom, Brandon's your session director tomorrow, or even same day. I'm connecting you with you via Zoom to spend an hour with you, 45 minutes on camera, then about 15 minutes to edit it, where we're going to rehearse it until you're ready to rock. Then we're going to record it. Then we're going to give you feedback and directions and creative ideas, and in a collaborative environment, so that you are getting outside eyes. Because sometimes it's very challenging as an actor to like, ideally you want to know when your work is strong and you want to be able to rely on yourself, but it's also nice to have second eyes and a second opinion, someone to help you with eye lines, be like, no, bring that eye line a little closer, or what about this as a moment before, or what about if we had a little button at the end where you wink at them or you give them one last look. So having that outside perspective is a huge part of the Actors Audition Club experience. And members here, that's what they get. The most important thing is, if you're an actor who's ever had an audition and you felt that you didn't seize the opportunity, you felt flustered, you felt that your home setup was shitty, or you didn't have a place or someone to help you, that's why Actors Audition Club existed. And then I want you to imagine the ease and the lightness of being able to get an audition, and like the minute you get it, book a session director. You get it on a Thursday night, it's due on a Monday, and right away you book a time for Sunday afternoon, and you know Brandon, your man, the BK broiler, is going to be there, and now you don't have to stress about that. You're not stressing all weekend, how am I going to get this done? So that's where you want to get yourself to, so that every audition that can be a life changer and a game changer, you are maximizing your performance and submitting an audition that you're proud of, that your agent's proud of. And even if you don't book that role, casting and production is going to be impressed that you are a player, that you are an actor, that you have some craft, that you are a professional. And they're going to take note of that and be like, you know what? We fucking love her. Not right for this role at this time, but let's put a little star beside her name for the next thing. That's the level that you want to get at. And the fourth big opportunity here, as we expand Actors Audition Club, which we are, into other markets, and part of the reason that some of you are here today on the call is we want to expand globally in this global village. I want friends in every country. I want co-producers in every country and peers in every country in the world. Again, we got people in Canada, the US, Mexico, UK, Lebanon, Portugal here on this call today, and other places. So the fourth opportunity is, as we expand, we're also expanding the session director opportunity, and we'll first look from within, from our own community of Actors Audition Club members, to step up as a side hustle opportunity and be helping other actors via Zoom or in a studio in your local market, so that when you're not on stage or on set yourself, you're using your craft on a daily basis, making some money as a session director, helping other actors book roles in TV, film, commercials, and theaters in their market. And as we expand and grow in all of those markets and internationally, especially via Zoom, we're going to look from within. Obviously, you got to have some certain tech setups, and you want to be confident in your own craft before you're able to help and give direction to others. But as you're stepping up into that hero mentality yourself, there's going to be opportunities for that. And we're going to look from within. And I can speak for that. One of the best things about my life in the last 4 years is all the days when I wasn't on set, wasn't on stage, or didn't have my own audition. Every day I was acting, reading scripts, learning about castings, learning about production, breaking down scenes, working my voice and my body with other actors as a reader, and making money and paying rent and paying bills with that by helping other actors who then, because they invested a few dollars into an audition, they go book something that pays them thousands and thousands of dollars and changes their life. And I know that Brandon can speak to this. Brandon's been paying his rent as an audition session director here for like the last year and a half. And he's probably acted more in the last year than he has in some years, because sometimes as an actor, you can early on, it can be a little feast and famine, but you want to use your voice and use your body and use your instrument and use your craft every day. And Brandon's an amazing example of that, where every week he's making hundreds of dollars as a session director, helping other actors, which is helping his craft, which is helping him become a professional, which is connecting him to casting directors and agents and producers, and just giving him more opportunities than he would if he was just a lone wolf at home, not connected to this community. So those are the biggies: the monthly live trainings, the private community, access to Zoom and studio audition directors for help with your own auditions, and then eventually the opportunity to work as a session director and be helping other actors in your community. So watch for that opening. When we open that enrollment, go to laughingvikings.com/join, and you can hit that button that says, yes, I want first access. When we do open the enrollment for 2022, you'll be first to notified, and you can be first to jump on that. And when you do sign up for that wait list, you'll get all the details and all the information. I've just briefly gone into some things here, but you'll get all the details about that by signing up for that Audition Club wait list, so that you can step into your dream role in 2022, get rid of all the old shitty victim stories that you have about your life, and become the hero that you've always known inside yourself that you've been destined to become, not only for yourself, but for your family, for your loved ones, for your community, for your peers. Everybody needs more heroes. So be the hero and step up. So that is your call to action tonight. For those of you who want to go further with Actors Audition Club, you enjoy this community, you've been inspired, you've been motivated, you want to connect with more of us on a regular basis, hit that wait list, laughingvikings.com/join, especially if you're international. I love the fact that we have that opportunity. So those of you who are international, click that button, and when we do open up the enrollment, you'll be first to hear that. So this brings us to an inspiring yet somewhat sad, just like when you're on set. You ever been on set or you've been on stage in a show? Everyone has that rap hangover. We get to the end and it's like, oh no, it's over. Audition Hero, our 3-day workshop helping you step into your dream role in 2022 as an audition hero, sadly has come to an end. I want to thank all of you who have been here for these amazing 3 sessions. It's been incredibly inspiring for me to be a part of this. I love all of you guys. The fact, again, that we have this global village, the fact that we've been able to interact, it's just mind-blowing to me. Huge congratulations to Adam Daniel Mazet, our grand prize winner, the Audition Hero winner of 2022. Our runner-up, Jareen Ignatius, and our second runner-up, Shaquille James Hostins. Congratulations. We'll reach out to those prizes. Ilya, Victoria, and Pippa will reach out for your free audition sessions for being the challenge contest winners. And guess what? This doesn't have to be the end. Even though it's the end tonight, I got to take a break and wind down here. But this is just the beginning. And my hope for all of you, and my sincere wish, is that this has planted at least a tiny seed inside you, that anything that you were feeling, if you had any doubts, any imposter syndrome, any of that self-sabotage inside you, all that shit that's holding you back, my hope and my wish for you is that here at Actors Audition Club and Laughing Vikings, that we've given you some level of inspiration and motivation and some tangible ideas, tips, tricks, practical things that you can add into your life to move you forward in your life as an actor, and more importantly, just your life in general. It's great to be an actor, but at the end of our lives, there's more to our lives than just being an actor. So my heart goes out to all of you. I fucking love you. I love my life, the fact that I get to do this, that I get to tell stories, that I get to help other actors. And I have such a soft spot for artists and actors. It can be a challenge. It can be a grind. If you're a person who's ever thought of like giving up, don't. Just keep pressing forward. Reach out for help. But first, reach within. Reach within, because the fact that you have these seeds planted in your head and inside your heart, it's there for a reason. You wouldn't have had those whisperings, and it wouldn't have been given to you if it wasn't something that was possible. And the fact that you had it as a thought and had it as a dream means at some level it already exists. There's just a gap between right now in the time-space continuum and that time-space between now and getting to that dream. But if you've dreamt it, and if you've seen it and you've visualized it, you put it on your vision board, it is there within your reach. It's your job to step up and to say yes to that hero's challenge, and to say yes to that hero's journey, and to just fucking go get what you want. Say yes to what you want and fight for it, and don't stop fighting till you get it. All right. I got to stop crying and enjoy the rest of the night, everyone. I love you all. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. And smash that wait list for those of you who want to get more involved with Actors Audition Club when we open up that enrollment. I love all of you. Have an amazing night. You're the best. Good night, Portugal. Good night, Mexico. Good night, Canada. Good night, Lebanon. You guys are the best. I love you, and we will see you soon on the big screen. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. No, you hang up. No, you hang up.